I'm delighted today to introduce a chairperson for today's event, Prashant Divekar sir. He is an accomplished individual in the field of education with a strong background in education, with a master's in science, master's in arts, and master's in education. Currently, he is heading W.N. Dandekar Teachers Training Center at Jnana Prabodhini. He is also a member of Executive Council and governing body of Jnana Prabodhini. He also teaches at Jnana Prabodhini Prashala. He is a former principal of Bal Vikas Mandir Solapur. He is also member of a Society for Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, which is under Ministry of Education. He is member of curricular area group on innovative pedagogy and teaching learning methods from National Syllabus and Teaching Learning Material Committee for a National Curriculum Framework by NCERT. He is also member of Academic Council, some with Research Foundation Bangalore. He is also an advisory committee member for Narmadalaya, Madhya Pradesh. He is also an editor of E-Prashikshak, a monthly magazine for teachers. So, with such a strong and wide experience, now I would welcome sir, and request him to guide us and our students. So, welcome, sir.
Years I am working with gifted students at Jnana Prabodhini Prashala. I will like to share my experiences, my strategies to deal with the gifted students. Actually, at Jnana Prabodhini, we start our academic year with Varsharambha and end with Varshanta. Same way, this is your first interaction with Jnana Prabodhini team. And at the end of the course, you will have one review meeting about this course. And I feel that it would have been better if I had been interacting with you at the end of your course, because mother shares what to do at Sasural at last tips. So when you will be entering in the class and actually you will start working with the students. So how to deal with the students. I have experience about that, and I have my methods and strategies to deal with gifted students. I will like to share few aspects, and you can think about how you can match these aspects with different theories in psychology and education. Uh, I will not go in detail regarding theories because this is introductory part of our course. I will like to start with one experience in 2099 or 1999 or 2000. It was my first or second year as a teacher in Jnana Prabodhini Prashala, and I was trying to find out my way of interaction with the students and my space in the school. So my basic background was from botany. I had done masters in botany, and I was having a good collection of you can say that portrait size or poster size of calendars where pictures of plants were printed. In 95 and 97, it was very difficult to have a camera and to take photograph, and it was a costly business to develop the slides and slide rules. So that's why I was having a hobby of collecting calendars having different plant photographs. So I was having a collection of about 300 different types of plants which were displayed in different calendars like Himalaya and other companies. They do with the plant or Ayurvedic companies. They publish such kind of calendars. So I was having a good collection. So I thought that how I can take my knowledge to the students, how can share my knowledge with the students. So I started displaying the poster along with the information, one-page information on school notice board. And after 2-3 weeks, few students, they started interacting with me regarding, sir, the plant which you had displayed, I found that plant in my area, or I had seen something about that. We use that plant as a remedy. My grandmother suggests to use that plant part as a remedy. So I started having interaction with the students. And one day when I was conducting group task period at Jnanaprabodhin in ninth standard girls, I was conducting group task activity in ninth standard girls student. One girl student, she asked that, sir, how many posters or such images you are having with you? I told her that I am having around 300 images with me. So she said that it will not be a use of us, because we are in ninth standard. Weekly, you are displaying one image. So when you will finish 300 images, we will be out of school. We will pass our 10th standard. So I asked them what we can do if you want to learn about all plants. So then the idea came that we will have an exhibition of the poster along with the information, all of 300 plants, and we will have a grand exhibition on Environment Day. So I introduced them how to refer flora and how to gather the information, how to collect from different days. That time 99 internet was that day not popular, so we have to go to library and refer the books to collect the information. And a format was defined with checklist to display the information. And I divided the specimens into groups, and each group got around 25, 30 specimens, and few were working to on the exhibition aspect of that. And we defined a certain date after 2 months that we will have exhibition on that day. And initially for first 2 weeks, I had a discussion with the group of girls and taking review. And then after before 10 to 15 days, I went to their class and I asked them how many specimens you had covered. And the number was around only 50 specimens they had written. So I was a bit furious in mind that I am working for you, and you had come up with the idea that we will have a grand exhibition about this. And then I said that from principal, I had taken permission to organize the exhibition after 8 days. So I will again revisit him and I will ask him to cancel the exhibition. So we will not be working on the exhibition. So after few minutes, I was furiously talking to them that what you are doing and how you are not working on your tasks, you are not committed to the task. And I stopped and I further started discussion on group task activities. One girl, she stood up and she said that, sir, you may cancel the exhibition, but we will have exhibition on the defined date itself. So the first question is, who hell you are to say that we will have exhibition on that day? I had declared now that I had cancelled the exhibition, so there is no issue that you will be organizing the exhibition. But she again raised her hand. She said, you may cancel the event. We will have exhibition on the defined day. So I said, okay, if you want to organize, you can organize the exhibition. I will not be part of this. And I came to school early morning, 9 o'clock. Around 80% girls were in school at 8 a.m. in the morning. And next 2 days, I was observing them. They were working from 8 a.m. to late evening, 10 p.m. To organize the thing, to collect the thing, collect the information, to print the thing, to laminate the thing, and to display. So after 2 days, I joined them. And that was the first lesson working with the gifted students, that whether we can shift the ownership of learning to them. The learning should be their learning. So from that day, when I organize any activity, I take care that the activity should be a learner driven activity. They should be involved in that activity. And that's why I feel that the gifted students, they can own the activity. And once they own the activity, they can take ownership of that activity and they can do miracles to complete the activities, not only with respect to thinking skills, but again contributing physically also to complete that task. So ownership of learning, how we can help to organize this interaction with the gifted students, where they will take the ownership of learning. And there are three aspects regarding ownership of learning I feel to share with you. One is what I want to learn, how we can have a dialogue with them where they will define what they want to learn. Second aspect as a mentor for gifted students is very important, and major role of a good mentor for gifted students is that how I will learn is very important aspect, and a lot of discussion and mentoring is required for the students, where they will be able to explore the methods and learning process, where they can understand how I can learn the content which I had defined. So what I want to learn should be followed by how I am going to learn the thing is second aspect, and that process of learning is very important aspect. And gifted students, they are not dependent on us in this era also for information. Remember one thing. So for information, they are not dependent on us. They are dependent on us to channelize their thought process, and that process-based learning is very important. So how I should learn, their guiding is required, their skill training is required, their mentoring is required. Is second aspect on which we have to think if we want to work with gifted students. The third aspect is that you will say and they will do the task. It is not going to happen with gifted students. They want, they are always curious and in demand also, that why you are giving us this task, what is the purpose, and why I should do the task. Unless and until they will not take the ownership with respect to why I should learn the task, they are not going to learn anything from us. That's why the why I should learn the thing is very important, and there lot of discussion and dialogue is required with gifted students. So these three aspects will help us to take where our students will learn how to take ownership of their learning is first aspect on which we have to work if we want to work with gifted students. And for that, I feel that there are few practices at Jnana Prabodhini also, and in due course of time, when you will be doing this course, we will share few methods and strategies evolved at Jnana Prabodhini, like resolution writing is one of the important aspect, where we encourage our students to write their own resolution for a year, for 5 years, for 10 years. Likewise, how we can help them to write the resolution, because ultimately they are having potential. By training, we can enhance their potential. But important aspect for working with the gifted, whether we can help them to focus on their resolution aspect. In Sanskrit, the word is sankalpa, and that power of resolution, sankalpa shakti, is very important aspect when we are working with gifted students, because unless and until they will not define what they want to do, they are not going to do anything. That's why that sankalpa shakti or power of resolution is very important. And there are many methods which are evolved at Jnana Prabodhini as practicing methods for working with gifteds. And in I feel that in due course of time, you will understand few methods and strategies evolved at Jnana Prabodhini to deal with the gifted students. That's why, to summarize these few points, I will say that how we can make the student self-reliant about his learning process is main role of mentor who wants to work with gifted students. So that self-reliance about learning and lot of discussion methods and classroom interactions are essential, which we have to organize in our classes, where the student will take ownership of his learning and he will become self-reliant from defining the resolution and executing the resolution and taking review of his resolution also. So this is a learning cycle, and how we can help him to learn about this learning cycle is very important aspect. And I feel that this is one area on which we have to work as a teacher or mentor, I will say, if we want to work with gifted students. Second aspect is as a mentor or as a teacher, how we organize the learning experiences. And there are two main aspects regarding learning experiences. The gifted students are, they are very creative, they are very spontaneous. And that's why the teacher who wants to work with gifted students, he should be spontaneous in giving response to their ideas, their thoughts, their they may initially feel that they are very foolish, childish thought, but you should be in a position to respond to that, those, their ideas, their thoughts spontaneously. And that spontaneity in learning process is very important thing, and how we can organize learning experiences where we can help them to respond spontaneously and to participate in learning experiences spontaneously. So just I will share one example again, that this spontaneity and organization of learning experience, there are few aspects regarding organizing learning experiences. First is how we can engage our students in learning process. It's a very important aspect on which we have to think during our course in designing, when we will deal with designing learning experience for gifted students. So engaging students is first aspect. Second is involving students in learning processes, second aspect. The third aspect is regarding how we can help them to connect with the learning. There are two aspects about connect with the learning. Connect with self. So what I want to learn, or what I am learning, how I can connect that learning with the with me, my aspect, my potential, my desire, anything. So connecting with self is important aspect. And second aspect of this connection is how I can help my students to connect with the surrounding. And this is most important aspect of Jnana Provod's education system. When we say that we work to motivate intelligence for social change, because easily gifted students, they can connect with self, but connect with the society and surrounding is very important and challenging aspect as mentor, as an organizer of learning experiences. And we have to help them to understand how they can connect themselves with the surrounding and the society. That connect aspect is very important. So connection with self, learning, connection of learning with self and with the surrounding, is the third aspect about organizing learning experience. And fourth aspect is regarding how we can challenge their potentials, so that they are potentially gifted, but it doesn't mean that you will get result from them. So the child is having potentials, but it is not surface potential. So a lot of training is required, lot of challenges we have to take them, ask them to do challenging tasks, because unless and until we will not challenge their potential, they will not be expressing the potentials. That's why these four things are very important things which we have to learn when we are learning about gifted education methods and strategy. So engaging, involving, connecting, and challenging. And that connecting is very important aspect, and you will have a different set of experiences as a teacher when you will work spontaneously and organize creative learning experiences with the students. Just I will share one experience, and then I will come up to the concluding remarks of this discussion. A few years back, one of our teacher, he came to school in the afternoon, and he said that tomorrow we will be taking our students, ninth standard students, to a movie called as Dunkirk. So 3 4 years back, there was a movie by Nolan on Second World War. Dunkirk is a event place in Second World War. It was a deciding battle between France, England, and Germany. And he had seen the movie, and he came to school. The teacher came to school, and tomorrow we will be taking our students to see Dunkirk. I said that this is not going to work. The spontaneity, as I said, no doubt it is very important, but you had seen and you want to execute, it will not work, because organized learning experiences are very important when we are working with gifted. In how much time you take to organize, you can organize you should have that spontaneity to organize the experience within an hour also. But that organization is very important. Just spontaneity will not solve the thing. So I told him that what we will do tomorrow all social science teachers, instead of, we'll request our principal that instead of 11 a.m. we will come to school at 12:30, and all social science teachers, we went to see the movie at 10 o'clock morning show. And we all social science teachers, we observed the movie Dunker, and we came back and all said that no, we have to show this movie to our students from ninth standard. Remember one thing, that showing movie is an input. It is not a learning. It is a exposure. It is a input. And actual learning, how we help our student to process the thing which they had, the process the input is very important. So I asked our history teachers that now, as we will be taking our ninth standard class to observe the movie next day, so go to the class and teach them about Second World War up to Dunkirk. So preparation is very important. So she conducted a class where students from First World War to Second World War up to Dunkirk battle, she introduced the content, and then we asked our students to assemble at the theater at for 10 a.m. show, and all students, we were together, and we observed, we enjoyed the movie, and we came back around 11:30 to school. And as I said, that this is the input. How we design a thought process after that is very important, and that feel that how we challenge their potentials is very important. That's why enhancing intelligence is most important aspect in organizing the learning experience. Then we had first round of discussion that क्या अच्छा लगा, what you enjoyed in the movie. So the sound effect, the graphics and other things, all these I will not say that fancy things, but the catchy things they shared initially. First round of expression, they shared that kitna bhari tha. So that first flow of the joy observing movie was over, and then we had designed 4 to 5 activities. First activity was to uh, plot a timeline. And in that movie, there are 3 events. One event which takes place on land, one event which takes place in water, and one event which takes place in air. Because the war is taking place, it is France and England connecting things. So there are land, water, and air. 3 events are there. And the land event of duration of land events is about a week. The water event is a few days, or a night, or day and night, 24 hours or more than that, and air is for few hours. And that simultaneously the events take place, and at a certain point in the movie, all 3 timelines, air, water, and land, they assemble together and they attack on the Dunkirk land. So I was not means after observing the movie second time, I was able to plot the 3 different timelines and how they converge. But students, they did the timeline plotting well. 3 independent timelines converging at a point, and then common timeline for 3 events. Then we invited our English teacher, because there is a speech in the movie by Churchill, and Churchill's English is there. And as I am a social science and science teacher, so I invited English teacher to have discussion on that speech. And then we were discussing about the characters in the movie, and they shared that Tom is there and X, Y, Z. So they made list of characters. They shared the features of the character. And one boy, he said that, sir, there are 2 characters. I feel that Tom, when he is in civil uniform, he behaves differently, and when he is in naval uniform as an admiral, he behaves something differently. So I feel that there are 2 characters. Admiral Sam is something different, and Family Man Sam is something different. So I feel that there are 2 characters. So now their brain started thinking creatively. So somebody said that, sir, there are 2 ships. One ship is warship and one ship is Red Cross ship. And I feel that though they are non-living, they have a different role in the war. So they are 2 different characters. So I said, good. So then we made list of aeroplanes, and n number of characters were there, from living to non-living, all characters and their features and their role in that event. they were sharing their thoughts on that. One boy who was sitting very silently in the class. Normally, he was also very little spoken, introvert child. When unless and until as a teacher you will not ask him anything, he will not respond. So I asked that all students they had spoken. Do you want to share something? So he said that, sir, I want to share, but my opinion is something different. I said, let's share. We are discussing the characters only, na? And now I was having a range of character from non-living to living. So what else he can have with him? So he said that, sir, I feel that there is only one character in the movie. I said that we had made list of around 50 characters, no, living and non-living, and you are saying that there is only one character in the movie. He said that, sir, I feel that there is only one character in the movie, death, मृत्यु. बाकी कुछ नहीं है. The 2.5 hour movie, only there is single character death. And that reflection aspect in learning process is very important. And I was very shocked. I was not expecting. And I feel that such kind of responses you will get when you will be working with gifted students. And that joy of working with gifted students is how we can design the learning experiences where they can reflect on their learning process and come up with such means I don't know any of our teachers also. We had given a thought that there is only one character in the movie, death. So in war, who is hero of war or who is villain in war? Death, or he is hero of war or he is villain of war. So such kind of responses are very peculiar, and I feel that how we can organize learning experiences, and there I feel that the theory about gifted education will help us a lot because we deal with both aspects of their development. First is intellectual development and emotional development. So intellectual quotient and emotional quotient. So we call it at Jnanaprabodhini Jnanakosh and Bhavakosh. So knowledge and bhav means emotion. These are the two aspects on which we have to work when we have to learn how to work with the gifted students, because they know how to deal with the jnana, knowledge aspect, but how to deal with the emotions is very challenging for gifted students. And I feel that in due course of time, along with learning theories and methods and strategies about gifted education, you will get chance to interact with gifted students also. And working with gifted students is very joyful because they can challenge about your content in your class, and along with that they can give you such joyful moments in the class. You have to learn how to challenge them and involve them in learning process, and we have to learn mainly how to deal with the mischiefs of the gifted. They are very creative in destruction also and creation also. So how to deal with gifted students is very important aspect, and I feel very happy that you had joined this course. And many times in this era of inclusive education, we talk a lot regarding challenge students, having challenges with learning uh, process, but mainly those who are having potentials for learning, they are also a kind of neglected group in school. People feel that वो तो अच्छा है उसको क्या सिखाना है. So I feel that it is very important aspect, and you will be having a joyful process of learning both theory and practices, dealing how to deal with the gifted. And we will have discussion because I just sit next to your class. So anytime you can connect with me, and I can share my experiences and methods and my approach about how to deal with the gifted students. And I feel that working for their both Jnana and Bhava emotional quotient and intelligence quotient is very important. And we will learn method strategies, and we will have practical exercises for working with such kind of students. So I welcome you all on behalf of Jnana Prabodhini. As you had joined this course, we will continue to motivate these students to connect with self and with the surrounding. Thank you.
थँक्यू सो मच सर. म्हटले अँड आपण कधी त्यांच्याशी बोलायला जाऊ शकतो. It was really insightful, even though we are running short of time. असं ऐकत त्यांचे अनुभव आय एम शुअर सगळ्यांना ऐकत राहावेसे वाटले असतील आता. सो येस, इन युअर कॉन्टॅक्ट सेशन्स मे बी वी विल हॅव इन पर्सन इंटरॅक्शन विथ सर ॲज वेल. सो once again, thank you.
Yes, I'm